Happy holidays from me, Emily Ellyn, on What's Cookin' Good Lookin'. Today we have a lot in store for us. We're having a party. I know you don't usually need any excuse to have a party, but my sister came up with a good one last year. She created these really cool pot holders that were just sewn together simply, and she filled them full of recipe cards and did a mingler. I've decided to make my own cookie recipe cards, if you will, that have invites that invite you to this holiday mingler, mixer, and more, with some ulterior motives, because the more part is bring a guest or two to share, and we're going to meet new people. I'm going to make all kinds of good drinks, i.e. the mixer, and the mingler, we're going to be eating cookies. So bring 24 cookies, one to share and enjoy at the party, and another we're going to divide up and we're going to all take home so that we can enjoy. Now, I've also included a recipe card with the email address so that I can take everyone's recipe and compile an email cookbook, if you will, and I'm going to email it to all my guests at the end of the party. So let's get cooking good looking. My mom would take my sister and I and prop us up in our bassinets on the countertop, and we would watch her cook. And we have been on show cooking our entire lives, and I always knew that I was going to be a cook, and I was going to entertain, and I was going to make people happy, and I was going to love them and feed them. I must say that the holidays are my favorite time of year. Maybe it's the friends and family, or the sharing of traditions, or all the food and cookies and all that good stuff. Or maybe it's that electricity in the air. You know, those new romances. I personally cannot hang enough mistletoe in my house. Anyways, back to the show, our minglers and mixers. So I get the most cookie bang for my buck, if you will, by just making a simple cookie recipe where you can add all these good ingredients, like chocolate chips, where I made these colossal chocolate chip cookies for my mixer. You can get mint chocolate chips, coconut, you can add cinnamon, you can powder sugar them up, lemon, anything. This is just a good basic recipe. You could make it in your mixer, but I have to say, this is just enough to make our 24 cookies for our party. So it's simple. A bit of sugar, just a cup. 2 sticks of butter, room temperature. Add that in. We're going to cream these together, and then we're going to add all the rest of our ingredients. The good thing about these cookies is you can make them ahead of time, add them to the refrigerator for a couple days, or you can freeze them. And I like to freeze them in parchment paper, make a roll, and then cut them. I swear, they look just like store-bought. An egg. Voila! My other egg, we get a little tricky here, folks. Just the yolk. It's okay if you make a mess, nobody's watching. Little salt. Vanilla. That's the love. Mix it together while you add your flour. Now this is where I make it look like Christmas in here. Woo! Okay. Oh, it's looking good. When I learned how to make cookies, they said, make them look sandy. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Save a little of that flour on the outside. I'll show you the finished product in a second. Whew. My guests are gonna love these cookies. Oh, now you could do this by hand, but let me tell you, I'm not that coordinated. Turn it off. Easy cleanup. If I can work my mixer. Okay. Put this over to the side. I like to put a little flour down. And this is the trick to make them look like store-bought, if you want to. Of course, I'm not perfect, and this was not a bite, but could be. I get a nice little ball, grab my parchment paper. Nobody's looking. I can be a little messy. Put a little more flour, put my dough in, and roll it up. It's kind of like you're making compound butter for a steak. And you just pop it right in the freezer. It's that simple. And when you're ready to cook it, take it out frozen, slice it, put it on your cookie sheet like that, and that's how I made those colossal cookies. I just cut them, cooked them, and voila, ready to serve. Okay, let's get to the fun part. Let's make some drinks. So, as I said, you want to know a good recipe that goes good with cookies? Put these in the oven, get them out of your way, and make a decadent white chocolate cocoa. And then we're going to jazz it up with a little love later. Grab a spoon, add your white chocolate chips, put it on low, add a couple tablespoons of vanilla, some milk, a bit of cream, and that's it. It's so simple. Let this slow cook over the stove, and it's done. Now, my trick of the trade is to do it in my slow cooker. And I actually started this before my guests got here so that it would be ready and I could show you the final product. Look at how nice and creamy it is. Now to really add some love, butterscotch schnapps, a little amaretto, a little whipped cream. Add that in right before your guests come. They're going to love this. Stir it up. Grab your ladle. Grab a little cup. Oh, this is going to be so decadent. It smells luscious. So nutty and warm. This is truly one of those hot chocolates that you're going to die for. And are going to go good with my colossal cookies. Oh, I wish they weren't coming over for cookies. I could drink this all day long. Now to really mix up the party. My favorite thing is to do a punch. Then it's kind of a self-sufficient drink. You make a big batch, everyone can help themselves. Start with a bottle of champagne. I like to use a sweeter champagne. An Asti Spumante is fine. Fill it up. Look at that. Nice and spritzy. As I always say, the bubbles will do the talking. Add a bit of peppermint schnapps. Add some vanilla vodka. Add some lemon lime soda. Ooh, baby. And the trick to this is to make it a bit more creamy. Add some creme de coco. Now, you know what I call this? This is my candy can I have some more punch. So, add a bit of grenadine to add that color. Stir this baby up. Serve it to your friends. And candy, can I have more? That's good. Now, another drink to have on your menu that goes perfect with cookies, it's great for a mixer, is your ginger snap. And it is a snap to make. Get your blender, about 4 ounces of eggnog. I'm going to make a double because I have 2 plates out here. Some spiced rum and a bit of ginger brandy. This ginger brandy is so good, and they don't always have it in the store, but when they have it, buy it up. It's so good. Now, I must talk before I start blending and getting it all mixed up in here. If your party starts to get a bit dull, take those recipe cards that I gave you that has everyone's name and email address, put them in a large bowl in the middle of the table, ring a bell, tell everybody to close their eyes, grab open a card, and they must go and talk to the person's card whom they've drawn. So it's a little way up. And heck, if you can't get them to mingle with that, mix with that, this is going to be a snap. Yeah. Okay. This is like adult eggnog. So good. Ooh, if I can get it out. Oh, I have to taste this. I'm so glad my guests aren't here yet. And with a ginger snap cookie, or even some of these sugar cookies, oh, decadent to die for. This is gonna get your party mixing. Now, to put the finishing touches on things, gotta get this place cleaned up. So guys, how was the mixer and mingler? Yay! Well, cheers. Cheers. Happy holidays from me, Emily Ellyn, and all of my friends at What's Cookin' Good Lookin'. Have a wonderful holiday. Cheers!